channel. If you guys are new here, I do a little bit of everything on this channel, so if you guys like that, hit subscribe down below. And now let's get started on today's video. Before we get started on today's video, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about a life update, because I feel like a lot has been going on in my life and I haven't had a chance to kind of like upload on YouTube and just like do what I like to do as a hobby. I am in my last semester of my master's degree and I'm almost done, which is super exciting, but it does mean that I have a lot more on my like life load, I guess, like caseload. I'm like thinking of caseload because that's what I do for my job, but yeah, I just don't have a lot of time, and so I feel like my weeks go by really fast, and the next thing you know, it's Friday and it's Saturday and I don't have anything to upload. So yeah, my life is just more hectic now than I would like. I do kind of would love to see if you guys can give me advice on like some dresses to wear for my graduation photos. I have 3 dresses and I'm just gonna put them up here and tell me which one that you guys like. I am leaning towards 2, so I don't know, but some people really like 1. But I don't want to look like a grandma, but I know that I need to look like professional for my master's degree, and like, yeah, there's a lot. So I'll like insert pictures of the dresses that I'm thinking of buying, and then I also need to figure out some shoes. Like I said, I really like number 2, but let me know what you guys like out of the 3. But yeah, that is just a life update. Sorry. Yeah, to the 5 people that like watch my videos. So now let's get into the video and what I'm going to be talking about today. If you are a booktok person and you love booktok, this is a video for you, okay? This is where my heart is. Now, I actually deleted TikTok when it got banned and I can't re-download TikTok. So if you guys have any updates on booktok, please leave them down in the comments because I need some more substance. I am getting my little daily fill of like short videos from like YouTube shorts and like Instagram reels. Like, I mean, I'm surviving, but I do miss TikTok just a little bit. So, all right, so the first book that's on my TBR and that I'm currently reading is obviously On the X Storm. This is a 3rd book of the franchise. So is it franchise or the series? More of the series. The 3rd book of the series. I love this series. I really do. For some reason, I am having a hard time reading this 3rd book. I don't know what it is. It's just like a struggle for me. So it is taking me longer than expected. I don't want to like DNF it. Like, I want to read it. I do. I want to understand what's going on. But also I've seen spoilers and it's been very upsetting for me because like I'm mad about seeing it. But it is a book that I plan on finishing this year. I'm hoping by the end of the month, but it might be the end of next month because I have a lot to read. But this is the first one. If you don't know what it is about, it is a fantasy romance, I guess you could say. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I kind of figure them as. Now, this is with like dragons in it, so it's just like really nice, and it's a good book. If you want to get started on fantasy romance, this would be the series to read, or ACOTAR. Now this is also on my TBR list, and the reason why is because I feel like I read it on my Kindle, but I went by really quickly and I want to reread it and like give like a detailed kind of like book review. So that's why I have this book. I just got it like a week ago. And I did read it on the Kindle. Now I do have a Kindle, so like, yeah. I have other books on my Kindle that I do plan on reading, but I'm just gonna show you the books that I have like physical, and maybe I'll show you what's on my Kindle another day. But yeah, so I have this one. This one's also a fantasy romance. It does deal with like fays, and like I believe there's like some vampire stuff in here. Yeah, like it's just like a mythical world, and this is kind of our main character guy, and you know, it's through a woman, and yeah, I just need to reread it because I feel like I don't remember all the things. But this also has spice in it, so if I had to rate this out of like a 10 of spice, I would give this an 8. Oni X, I would give like, right now I haven't read any spice, but in the series I would give a 9 on spice level. Yeah, it's a little detailed and like adventurous on the spice level, but I recommend one of these books for sure. This is going to be a series. I don't know when the next one's going to come out, but this one is the first book of that series. So now let's get into some of the other books that I have behind me. Okay, and the next series I'm going to talk about is this series. I have it in like this. I got this for $50 on Amazon, so if you guys are like looking for the whole series on sale or something, go to Amazon. Don't buy it from Barnes and Nobles, because in Barnes and Nobles it's $130. So get you this for 50 bucks. It was good. So yeah, this is the Throne of Glass series. This is like a prequel book that was like released like later in the series, but I think the series is done. So really this is like the first book you're supposed to read before you read Throne of Glass. So I am currently reading this book. I started it. I am like anxious about this book because it's just like the series, really, because it's just like super long. Like when you look at this book, like that's a big book. So I am a little nervous about reading this series, but it is on my TBR, and I'm hopeful that I will actually read it this year, but I don't know for sure. If you're a night reader like me, get you one of these. It's like a little night light, like you clip it onto your like book pages, and then like you just have like a little light for your book pages. I love reading at night, so I totally recommend this. It is probably the best thing I've ever bought. I think it was like 12 bucks or something, and then like you just put batteries in it. So yeah, I could do that. It's the best. Here are some of my other books. This is part of a series as well. I think there's only like 2 or 3 books of this series. For some reason, I just keep picking up series, you know? So this is called Kingdom of the Wicked, and apparently this is also a really good book. It's about witches and just kind of like princes, yeah, like royalty. It's kind of like a murder mystery as well, so I was like really excited about this, and I wanted to like read something with a little bit of a dark side, so this is what I plan on reading. I think there's like 2 or 3 books in this series. So yeah, when I was in Barnes & Noble, someone recommended this to me and I was like, well, I have to get it now. So I got it. Light Lark. I got this book literally in December during Christmas time because it was like on sale in the store that I was at in Jacksonville, Florida. I've heard good and bad reviews about Light Lark. I don't know if I'm actually going to like the series, but this is the first book in the series, and there's a second one called Nightbane. I think there's going to be a third one, but I'm going to give this a try. This is also, I would say it's also a fantasy romance. That is like my favorite genre, so a lot of my books are going to be a fantasy romance, but I totally understand if you don't like that. There are some books in my TBR that are not that are just like mystery books, so just bear with me. Or just regular fantasy. So this is the next book that I'm gonna try and read, and yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get to this book, but it is on my TBR and I just want to be able to read it sometime this year. I'm hopeful that like after I graduate, I'll just like have so much time that I will literally become a bookworm. Shatter Me. Shatter Me is literally, this is part of a book series as well. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. Now, this book series also has a lot of books in it, which like reminds me, like I want to get like some of the first books of Zodiac Academy. I saw some of those books in Barnes & Noble's, but I don't know if I want to start this series because I also have the start of this one, so I'm thinking like maybe I should hold off on the Zodiac Academy and wait until next year to read that, because they have like 12-13 books in that series, and this one is also long. I think this one maybe has like 7. I don't remember exactly, but there's a lot of books in this series, so this is the first one and I've heard great things about it, so I plan on reading it. And There He Kept Her. This book is a kind of like a murder mystery and just like kidnapping. It is not a romantasy, or like it's not romantic at all. This is literally just mystery. So I started this book. It is really good. It is like kind of scary, so if you like scary, this is one for you. But I also don't have a high intolerance of like being scared, so I'm not the greatest person to scale that on, but this is a mystery and it's currently on my TBR. So I read this first one. I loved it. It was a great book. It is pretty interesting. It does make me sometimes uncomfortable because it is very like detailed, and the spice level is like a 11 out of 10. And it's also, it just like portrays boundaries really bad, which it does give a warning in the beginning of the book. It's weird. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It is an interesting book, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. I could stomach this first one for sure. As you can see, I started reading the second one and I'm having trouble stomaching it. I think in this book it is very detailed. It portrays some things that are very graphic, and it's hard to read some of that stuff. So I'm struggling to stomach this one. I don't want to DNF it, but she's on the verge of being DNF'd. So, Throne of the Fallen. Now, I got this book sometime last year, probably in the summertime, and for some reason I haven't read it. I don't know why. It is a very... I picked it up because I was like, this is a cute color of a book. Hold on. I want to see if this is like the first book or the second book. Okay, so this is like a standalone book, but it is a part of a series for the author where it's like Princess of Sin. So this is a book I remember now. So I wanted to pick up a book that was like just like standalone, and this is the one that I picked. And I really should read this book. I want to. It is like, I think it's a romance fantasy. Yeah. So that's why I believe it's a romantasy, so that's why I picked it up. It is on my TBR list. Now my next books are a series. I literally picked this up because I love a good like mystery, and yeah, so that's why I picked this up. This is a very popular like young adult mystery series, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Yeah, I really wanted to read this series, and I've been wanting to read it, and I haven't gotten around to it. It is on my series. It is on my TBR. I'm excited to read it. It's just I haven't had time. If you guys don't know, there is, I think, a show out about the first book. I don't know if they're gonna do a second season or not, but I love the first season, so yeah. Mystery books, love them. The next books are a part of a series, but I'm having trouble reading these books. So here we have The Powerless and Reckless. Now there's like a third book that's like smaller. I'm not reading that one. If it's like, if I can like just not have to deal with it, like that's perfect. Like I'm only reading these two, and then the third one, I'm not reading this small book. It's weird. It doesn't fit the series. I'm not doing it. Okay. So this here is also a romantasy. It's like a back and forth type of thing. The first book is literally like, that's all it is. It's giving like, that's not all it is, but like I'm just talking about like the main characters. They kind of just like go back and forth, and it's like they're also like in these games, and it's giving Katniss Everdeen. Okay, it's giving Hunger Games, okay, kind of like that dystopian type of vibe. Like this is what it's giving, okay? And just like Fourth Wing, it's like, oh my god, she's so small and weak, and like I feel like she dies every couple of chapters. Next, I have this book, Things We Never Got Over. This is a Lucy Score book, and this is basically just a romance book. Yeah, it looks really cute. And so that's why I got it, because I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a cute little book, and I can get the rest of them. It is definitely a romance book, so when I'm feeling like just reading romance, I'll pick up this book, but I'm not stressed about reading it this year. I don't feel like it, maybe. Okay, and the next series that I have, this is not even the whole series. There is way more to this series, but yeah, I don't remember how many books. There might be like 6. I can't remember, but I have 3, and it's from Blood and Ash series. Yeah, this is like vampire-ish, and I remember like picking this up and being like, oh, a vampire one after reading Twilight. So that's why I have these books, but I literally have not read them. And for some reason, when I see the next part of the series, I just pick it up. But I literally haven't read any of the books in the series yet. Okay. So that is on my TBR list. If you guys have any recommendations on what other books I should read, because I am growing my library as a life update as well. I am moving in July again, and yeah, the reason why I'm moving is because this area is just like, I'm not really enjoying it as much as I did down in a different area. So I am going to move, and I'm hopeful that I will enjoy that area a lot more and I can get out a lot more and be more comfortable. So I'm really excited about that. It's also hard to work in this area and live in this area because you run into people so often, it's like ridiculous. So yeah, I am going to be building a library at my next place. I'm really excited about that. So if you guys have any other book recommendations, please let me know. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you hopefully next week. I don't know when I'm gonna be uploading. Maybe it's another vlog, maybe it's a sit down video. We shall see. But please give me some advice on my dresses if you can. And yeah, bye.